Today we're talking about the different equations that we have for a circle. Before we go into the equations to be able to find the information that we need to know, our circumference and our area, we need to know a couple of key words. The first one being the word circumference. Circumference, it's right here on your paper, but it is all the way around the circle. So if you're drawing a circle, you're actually drawing the circumference of a circle, which is a good thing for us to be able to remember it. The next term that we are going to be talking about is a diameter. A diameter goes all the way across the circle. It goes the distance. That's how I remember that. So diameter goes the distance. It goes from one side of the circle all the way to the other, and it passes through the middle of the circle, the center point. And the last key word that you guys need to know is the radius. The radius starts at the exact center of the circle, and it goes straight to the edge of the circle. So that is called the radius. And a nice thing about the radius is it's actually half the distance of the diameter. So anytime that you see a diameter, you know that if you're going to divide it by 2, you will be able to find your radius. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because this is the information that we need in order to do these two formulas right here. In order to find the area of a circle, we need to be able to find out the radius. The equation is area equals pi r squared. All right, pi, it is a number that we represent by this symbol right here. It's actually a never-ending decimal, okay? So it never terminates. There's no way for us to give it an exact value. There's an approximation, but there's not an exact value that we can use right now. So what we're going to do for this particular homework is we are going to leave everything in terms of pi. Now, some of you may know like however many digits of pi. I know we have a few students that can recite them 20, 25 places after the decimal point, and that's great. But for this homework, I want you to remember we're going to leave it in terms of pi. The next equation that we're going to be talking about is the circumference, as we are going to be able to find how to do this, or how to find the circumference of a circle. We're also going to utilize the radius of the circle for this, and in order to find the radius, if they only give you the diameter, we can divide by 2, and that's going to give us our radius. So our equation for finding the circumference is the circumference equals 2 times pi r. And again, r is just our radius, and pi we are going to leave in terms of pi for this entire homework, so that way we have very precise information that you're going to be giving us. Right here as well, just something to remember is that it says to find the radius, divide the diameter by 2. So if they give you the diameter and you're like, oh my gosh, I need the radius, all you have to do is divide it by 2 and you will be good to go. So we're going to go through the first 3 examples here for our homework, just so you guys get an idea of what we are working with here, and so you guys feel comfortable in order to do them. So number 1 here, this is on the paper that you received in your packet, and there's also a PDF of it, I believe, on Google Classroom, and you can answer the questions in a doc and just share it with me. That is perfectly acceptable. So number 1 here, it looks like they give us our diameter. So they are telling us that our diameter is 12. Our diameter is right there, and they're saying that that is 12 inches. All right, so the main equations that we need to know is area equals pi r squared. And we also need to know circumference equals 2 pi r. So this is asking us to fill out a lot of information here. It's giving us our diameter, but we need to know our radius, circumference, and area. Well, if our diameter is 12, we know that our radius is just our diameter divided by 2. So our radius is going to be our diameter divided by 2, which means our radius is going to equal 12 divided by 2, which equals 6 inches. So our radius right here is 6 inches. Now our circumference, that's when we're going to come through and we are going to use this formula right here. And we are going to say that our circumference is 2 pi r. And remember, we are leaving these in terms of pi. So I don't want you to put 3.14 in there, and I don't want you to put the pi symbol into your calculator. I just want you to leave pi for what it is, just like if we were leaving a variable in there. Okay, so our circumference, we know circumference equals 2 pi, and we've got r. Well, we just found out that r is 6, so 2 pi 6. Now, we can see that they're all being multiplied together, so we can simplify that. So our circumference is actually going to end up equaling, what is 2 times 6? 12. So our circumference is going to equal 12 pi. And that is what we're going to put right here. It's going to be 12 pi. Okay, and our last one is up here. It's area. So let's change our colors so we can see that we're talking about a different formula right here. It is area, okay? And it says that our area is pi r squared, or pi r raised to the second power. So our area equals pi r squared, which we found out again, r is right here at 6, so it's 6 squared. We can simplify this. What is 6 squared? Remember, that means 6 times 6. So our area is actually going to equal 36 pi. And that is what we are going to put right here. Right, so you guys, which is the one piece of information that they gave us for our diameter, you were able to find all of this information out. Okay, so this is what they're going to ask you to do for all 9 of the problems. So let's go through number 2 together, where they just give us our radius, okay? So our radius is important, and it kind of makes our life easier because each of our formulas involve our radius. So our area equals pi r squared, and our circumference equals 2 pi r. All right, so our radius is 12. That means that from here, the center of our circle, to here, that means that that is 12 inches right there. That also means from here to here is 12, and P to R is 12. So our diameter, what is our diameter? Well, if we take our radius right here, we multiply it by 2, 12 times 2, that's 24. 24 inches. All right, our circumference. So we are going to be talking about this equation right here with our circumference. All right, our circumference is 2 pi r. So circumference equals 2 pi r. And what did they say r was? They gave us that it was 12 inches. You can simplify this because 12 and 2, we can multiply them together. So our circumference is going to equal 24 pi. Not too shabby. All right, and last but not least is our area. Our area we have right over here is pi r squared. We know again that r is 12, our radius is 12, so our area is going to equal, I'm moving things around my screen, I apologize, pi 12 squared. And we can simplify 12 squared as 12 times 12, which equals 144. So our area equals 144 pi. All right, so our circumference is going to be 24, and again, this actually should be labeled in inches. Our area is 144 pi. Remember, when we're labeling area, it should be with squared, so inches squared. And then our circumference, you guys figured out, was 24 pi inches. All right, so this isn't too difficult. It's something, again, that we've been doing for 2 or 3 years now. It's just a refresher before we go into more of our volume and how to apply it in different applications. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a shout out either on Remind, or you can give me an email, or talk about it in Google Classroom, no problem. And I'll be more than happy to walk through some more of these with you. So have a good day, guys. Day 7, here we go.